This is way worse than we thought, as the Los Angeles Lakers season is now falling apart in front of our very eyes, and they are scrambling to find solutions in order to get their season back on track and reach those championship aspirations that they had entering the year. Welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, where we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers, whether it be different rumors, reports, breaking news, wins, and unfortunately losses. We will be here on this channel to break it all down. So to keep up with all that, hit the subscribe button. If 67% of you watching our content are not subscribed, look, this is free, around-the-clock coverage surrounding your purple and gold, so this is definitely the place you want to be for that. But this was a heartbreaking loss, something that we have become way too accustomed to for the Los Angeles Lakers this season, as they fall up short 113 to 110 to the Phoenix Suns, basically at the buzzer from Royce O'Neal. But maybe they're not actually the Los Angeles Lakers. They're the LA Fakers, man, because this team has been fool's gold all season long. And this game was lost in two ways. Two ways this game was lost. 3-point shots and offensive rebounding. That is how the Lakers lost this game. Those two categories pretty much alone. When you lose to a team that does not have their two leading scorers in Devin Booker and Dillon Brooks, how the hell do you lose to the Phoenix Suns otherwise? Well, we're going to break it down here. So, looking at what the Los Angeles Lakers did tonight, I want you to look there. 11 of 29 from 3. That's 38% from 3. That's not necessarily like an awful stat, 38%, but you didn't shoot a lot of threes. Look at what Phoenix did. They shot 50 attempts from beyond the arc, and they shot 44% on those attempts. They only shot 46% from the field overall, so it was really the three-point line that is where they scored all their points. And Lakers didn't have a lot of turnovers. 12 turnovers, you can live with that in a basketball game. And I don't even think Phoenix got a lot of points off the Lakers turnovers. A lot of them were bad, went out of bounds kind of turnovers, and they weren't live ball action turnovers, which actually is kind of how they ended up coming back in this game. So maybe I'll eat my words a little bit there. But the offensive rebounds as well. 15 offensive rebounds for the Phoenix Suns, and that just kept extra possessions alive. We know the Los Angeles Lakers are not a good defensive team. So when you're giving teams like Phoenix, a team without their best players, best scorers, another second, third chance opportunities, that's what's going to bite you in the ass in this one. And excuse my foul language, but that is ultimately the reality of how we saw this game play out for the Lakers. And looking at the box score here, Luka, typical Luka night, 41 points, 12 of 21 from the field. Was hurt in this game as well toward the end. It looked like he kind of hurt his lower back a little bit, but stayed out there. 6 of 11 from 3, hit some big shots to keep the Lakers in this game, get them back in this game in reality of it. And 11 to 12 from the free throw line. He's actually been struggling. I think he's been shooting like 64% from the free throw line over his last 9 games. The fact that he had a really good bounce back here, this is everything you could want from your superstar player, right? Luka Doncic did everything you possibly could have wanted out of your best player. But this was a game where LeBron James and Austin Reaves definitely fell up short. We saw Austin miss a wide-open three-pointer in the corner that would have sent this game to overtime. It was a great drawn-up play by J.J. Redick, getting it to the guy in Austin Reaves, who the night before did not touch the ball in that final possession. Austin has a game winner already under his belt at the buzzer. This could have been another opportunity to have one of those moments. He misses it. Again, it's a make or miss league, but I don't think one shot is ultimately what changed the outcome of this game, essentially here. So, for the Lakers, you had good contributions from guys like Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. I thought both of them had fine nights, especially Marcus, who was really, really big for them down the stretch. But also another night where DeAndre Ayton was an absolute no-show. After talking all that smack, and we have a video actually out this right now, Ketchy Opakama, one of my co-hosts, he did break down this, the DeAndre Ayton stuff with him, where reportedly saying that he's not a Clint Capella level player. Well, Clint Capella maybe would have had more than 2 points. So after all that complaining, you still end up kind of putting out and laying out an egg against your former team that gave up on you. You had the Portland Trailblazers give up on you, and you're probably going to have the Los Angeles Lakers give up on you this offseason. So maybe swallow your pride a little bit and realize that you're not that guy that you were drafted to be number 1 overall. You're not that dude, DeAndre Ayton, with all due respect. So they have that. The Lakers' big man situation. Jackson Hayes continues to be the much better one, and this was a game where the Lakers went small at the end of it. The Suns took out Mark Williams. He was not a factor in this one, and they ended up going small. The Lakers did as well, and that helped them get back in this game. But in the reality of it, too, the Lakers were up 70-58 with about, I think, 5:45 left on the clock. That was matched by a 38-16 run by the Phoenix Suns. And they took the lead in like a minute and 15 seconds. I don't know what it is with this Lakers team, but they have very rarely this season, and look, basketball is a game of peaks and valleys, right? It is hard to play extremely well for 48 minutes, but the Lakers, their valleys are deep. Like, it gets to a point where they look uninterested. They're turning the ball over. They're missing shots. Sometimes they're not even getting shots off, and they're getting 24-second violations. Like, they're bad turnovers. I don't know what happens. Like, the team, they just go from good to awful so fast. And it happens in almost every single game. It happened last night against or 2 nights ago, against the Orlando Magic. It happened against the Boston Celtics. And at least in this one, the Lakers came back in this game. So it was nice to see that they at least didn't fully give up. But if the Lakers just kept their foot on the gas pedal, they win this game against Phoenix. And this is a very important time of the season. That's going to bring us to our final point here. Is it too little too late for the Los Angeles Lakers to get their season back on track? Because technically, no. Like, they still have a lot of games in front of them here, and I'm going to pull up the schedule here over the next 10 because there's some, on paper, very winnable games here. I mean, Golden State, that's a game that the Lakers can win. The Kings and Pelicans, those should be easy wins for the Lakers. If they're not, then bigger conversations need to be had. Then you got the Denver Nuggets. That's going to be a tough game, of course. The last time they beat them was probably one of the best wins of the Lakers season, and they didn't have Nikola Jokic, though. He's back. Then you got the Pacers. That should be an easy win as well. Again, and then you got the Bulls, who literally did not win a single game in the month of February. They lost every single game. February is a shorter month, quite literally, but also because of the All-Star game. So there was 11 games. They didn't win any of them, and they just traded away some of their best players. So there are 4 games on here that should be automatic wins. You cannot lose any of those games. Can the Lakers, especially the games against the Western Conference teams, if they can split those, that's 7-3 over their next 10 games. And the Lakers have been treading water. I think they're allowed like 11-13 over their last 24 or something like that, which actually, that's not treading water. That's actually getting worse. So if they can go 7-3 in these next 10 games to me, win the easy ones, I don't know. You can pick, you split with Denver, and I actually think they play Houston back-to-back after that game on March 16th. I don't know. Like, you split with Denver, you win either against Minnesota or Houston, and then you win against Golden. It doesn't really matter how it happens, I guess. But, like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, they have to really ramp it up here. I mean, San Antonio is on like a 10-game win streak, right? They have flown past the rest of the West outside of Oklahoma City. You're fighting for that 3-6 jockeying position, but with a loss to Phoenix Suns here, you now have lost 2 games to Phoenix. I think they now have the series lead over you this season. I mean, the Lakers could potentially be in jeopardy of getting the 7th seed and missing out on a top 6 seed, which means that they would be in the play-in. And I'm going to knock on wood because, of course, we don't want that to happen, but they're in jeopardy of doing that. I don't think they're going to fall to 9-10. They would have to absolutely collapse. I don't know if that's going to happen, but, like, Phoenix is right there. They're only... And this isn't updated, by the way, guys. They're only like a game back, I believe, of the Lakers right now. So that is where we're at right now with this season. And look, it is really tight and close-knit. Lakers can easily move up to 3 if they really wanted to. Like, I say want to because it's like this team doesn't care. They have so many guys outside of Luka and like Jake LaRavia, and I guess you can throw Jared Vanderbilt in there. All their key rotation players are all free agents this offseason, or can be, and they probably all will be. Like, show some effing pride, right? Show some pride that you want to go out there and you want to compete at a high level. Again, we saw Marcus Smart do that tonight. Credit to him. But this is not working. And long-term, bigger picture here is Rob Pelinka, with doing nothing at the NBA trade deadline, to get a big move. I mean, Luke Kennard is a fine piece, had an okay game, but long-term, you look at this Lakers team, if Rob Pelinka does not fix it this offseason, like, someone's losing their job. He's getting fired, or JJ Redick's getting fired. I don't think it happens this offseason, per se, but if they cannot capitalize and build a team around Luka Doncic, right? You have one of the premier legit superstars, and I don't use that term superstar lightly. They have a top-tier superstar, generational talent on their team right now in his prime. He's scoring 41 points, and they're still losing to a team without their top 2 players. That cannot happen. This team is not built correctly around Luka Doncic at all. If you do not get the necessary pieces here, and JJ Redick, you got to coach up those teams as well. If that doesn't happen, people are losing jobs. Mark Walter, he's not Genie Bus. He's already bringing in his guys from the Dodgers to round out this Lakers organization. He will sure as hell replace Rob Pelinka if he can't get the job done. This is not good enough. This is unacceptable. And if you waste another year of Luka Doncic, heads are going to be had. And people are going to be losing their jobs. I'm not rooting for that. Of course, I want to see this Laker team succeed because I hate coming on here and talking about losses. And I always appreciate you guys coming on here after losses and listening to me speak about this team. And honestly, just hearing about the Lakers period, because I hate listening to anything when the Lakers lose. I'm petty like that. If it wasn't for me coming on here making these videos, I don't really want to hear it. I only hear it for educational purposes and to give you guys content if needed. So, that's where we're at. A heartbreaking loss, one of many this season for the Lakers, and fingers crossed that there's not more, but there probably will be. But to keep up with all that surrounding your Lakers, of course, different rumors, reports, and game coverage, hit that subscribe button. As 67, almost 68% of you watching our content are not subscribed. Look, this is free around-the-clock coverage surrounding your Lakers. This can be almost like a therapy session where we can come here, we can vent respectfully, and kind of hope for the best as the Lakers now have a very important game against Steph Curry and those Golden State Warriors, and we always want to beat the in-state rivals. So keep up with all that. Hit that subscribe button here on Lakers Digest.